Good morning. Wednesday, May the 11th, 2022 is the date as we roll this thing. 6 o'clock, basically 6 o'clock a.m. Central Time here in the USA, and specifically in Little Rock, Arkansas, where I'm broadcasting from, taking sips of delicious green tea. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. These are things you might have heard. We have 6 stories for you this morning to get your day started, get your water cooler brain going, and get your mind teased a bit. Plus some celebrity birthdays of folks that you may not have been thinking about for a while. Guess what? They're turning older, and you are too. That's how it works around here. What we're going to provide for you in the next 20 minutes or so are these 6 stories that were vetted by you across the internet. 6 stories that were posted in the last 30 hours previously. What we do is we put them out there for the world to vet, if you will, and the internet's to tell us what algorithms are the top stories. We're taking 15 of the top 33 stories posted in the last 30 hours. We post a new story every 50 minutes, on our social media feeds. And you get a chance to join in on the fun and all the festivities. And we'll tell you about how that works out in a bit. But first, let's go ahead and get into the news. Quick hydration break because we got the hiccups this morning. We will suffer through anyway. Starting with the first story we're going to talk about today. This story was the top story that you guys said was interesting overnight. Young Thug's old music social media use in indictment against him, coming from WSBTV.com. That is the news station, one of the news stations in the Atlanta area. We're going to bring up the image from the actual report and read a bit of this one because this is an interesting one. I'm going to read a bit of it, so bear with me. Rappers Young Thug and some alleged members of his Young Slime YSL life syndicate were arrested early Monday afternoon in a sweeping gang indictment that named at least 28 people. Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams, is accused of conspiring to associate together and with others for common purposes of illegally obtaining money and property through a pattern of racketeering activity and participating in enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. Young Williams and more of 24 other alleged YSL members were indicted, including Sergio Kitchens, who goes by the rap name Gunna. For so far, at least 3 of those names in indictment have been taken into custody, including Young Thug. Short on a bit because this is where it gets to be a bit of it. Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryan called Young Thug one of Atlanta's, quote, top offenders who needed to be taken off the streets. His direct quote, "They are committing conservatively 75% to 80% of all the violent crime in our community. It doesn't matter your notoriety or fame. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, you come in a crime, you're going to be a target and the focus of district attorney's office." Willis said that the people being invited could face life in prison. Willis said social media and music played crucial roles in investigation into Young Thug and his associates. So basically, what he rapped about, what he talked about, what was going on in his lyrics and his social media activity helped them to track him down to actual criminal activity. It would make you wonder if they go back in time 30, 40 years and started, indicting NWA for what they said in their lyrics. But this is a lesson to learn, kids. The rap game is a bit of a game and a bit of a reality in some cases. Some of these folks ain't so big, ain't so bad, ain't so tough. Some of these folks are committing crimes and essentially telling the world about them in their lyrics. So make sure you actually write more country songs about drinking beer and driving trucks instead of robbing folks and taking cash. That's just my tip. Next story on the list this morning is this one right here. It goes, Paris Hilton visits White House Congress to discuss care at children's residential facilities. TheHill.com gave us this one. This was number 5 of the 15 in range today. And this is an interesting thing as Paris Hilton is enjoying a pretty good, this might be a 3rd or 4th life, to be honest. Paris Hilton is now essentially an influencer of actual real influence of people who can actually do stuff, not just having people wear girdles and call them body shapers. She is actually out there talking to Congress, going to the White House, talking to people of importance about real issues. Her issue happens to be children in residential facilities, making sure that kids who are, for lack of a better word, locked up in these government facilities are being taken care of, being well taken care of, not just being left to just fester and just get bitter and then to put out in the streets. This is something that she is doing. She's took some pictures think there's one with Lindsey Graham. Oh no, there's Chuck Grassley right there. And she went to the White House. Might be some more Instagram in the story here, but she's out there because using her fame and notoriety to make sure that good things are happening. So good for you, Paris Hilton, making the best of I guess this is a third or fourth life in the spotlight and doing good things at this point. Our third story. Apple discontinues its last iPod. Engadget.com gives us this one. This is number 6 in our range of 15 stories to pick from in the morning. And this may be a sad thing, or if you're of an age where you don't actually care, this may be something you have no idea what's going on. Remember, the iPhone is only 20 years old. The iPod was the originator before the iPhone. I'm getting my words mixed up. Where Apple, before they made phones that were really bad and can hold your music, made this beautiful device that was able had a click wheel on its other things and looked like the old Mac style stuff that was able to hold like 500 songs, which is amazing. 30, 40 years ago. They weren't the first MP3 player. In fact, they didn't play MP3s. They played a proprietary sound system. But they were the first multiple portable player of digital tunes, but they were the prettiest, they were the popularist, they were the ones everybody wanted, and it basically flooded the market with different types of iPods, including iPod Nanos, and then they got screens, and then at some point in time they became phones. Now they're pretty much obsolete because your phone can do basically everything plus a few extra things that the iPod did. The original iPod was a actual hard drive with a click wheel that was really, really, really interesting. Those things went out of fashion and out of production many, many years ago. Now the Apple is basically killing all its support for anything called iPod. It's not an iPhone. It ain't, or an iPad. It ain't got no support going forward. So pour a little one out for the iPod because it's now officially gone. I had to do that. Sorry. Next story. Symone Sanders' new MSNBC show tanks in debut. Radaronline.com is a source of this one. This was in 14 in a range of 15 stories. And we're going to go quickly on this one because it is what it is. It was what it was. Well, not quite. It's still out there, but it do what it do. MSNBC has a problem, and they don't think they have a problem. But the problem actually is the same problem all the networks have right now, and it's Trump. They got so used to being a Trump, either a for or against, that without a Trump to be directly for or against, it's hard to really put any sort of personality onto a station. CNN had issues because they were like the debunkers of Trump. And now that Trump is not really speaking very much, and when he is, it's pretty much easily debunked. They don't have much identity in what they're doing. MSNBC having a similar thing where they're putting out a new show for a new personality. Symone Sanders, not a wallflower by any nature of the beast, but as far as just another liberal lady going out there and spouting really loud sentences on the TV. She's just another liberal lady spouting really loud sentences on TV. Not to take away from her talent, not to take away from her knowledge, not to take away from what she actually does. But she's more or less a carbon copy of what's happening at MSNBC, which is turning into a great place for diverse faces and diverse voices. But it's all diverse faces and voices basically saying the same similar thing. So every show is basically the same in a case. Symone Sanders' show that has no actual, from my standpoint, from my viewing of it, has no actual delineation from any of the other general shows out there. So there really was no big deal to make disappointment viewing if you're not watching it, or tune into this instead of something else if there's something else available at the same time. Just sort of a bitterness. I'm the one that's sitting on the Facebook recording to this to you at 6 a.m. because I don't have a place on TV. So you do have that to figure out in my commentary, but it's not just me. It's a lot of people out there, including the professionals who grade this thing on a curve every day, saying that just the show not so much bad, but the fact that the key demo ratings were not very good for the start do not speak well for MSNBC's future direction and her show as well. U.S. has the highest rate of gun-related deaths in more than 25 years. New CDC data shows from CNN.com. This one barely in the range, but I did put it in there because we got gun issues. we got gun issues. Now, what does this actually mean? There's a lot going on in this article. So make sure you click on the article or look up more articles for details, especially if you are one to not believe the CNN and want to see some other views, see what the other views are doing as they're reporting on this story. What has been one of the oddities of COVID life is basically anything is a reason to buy more guns. And basically, when we started getting isolated, we started going into isolation for ourselves and just being away from people. There was an influx of guns bought. And as people started going out to see more people and people got more freedom to be around, there was an influx of gun violence, of gun deaths and gun accidents abound because when you have more guns, there's a better chance of having issues with guns. That's just odds. If there's more guns around, there's a better chance of guns being going off. I had a odd conversation, not so odd conversation, but a conversation with a coworker the other day about, he was just testing a gun and thought it was unloaded and found out it actually wasn't and shot up his bedroom. It happens, things like that. When you have the chances of a gun going off when there's no gun in your hands are pretty much zero. And when it's in your hands, you have to be extremely careful with it. Right now, we're having the highest rate of gun-related deaths in 25 years. I think we can say, this is towards the trail ends of the crack years even, I believe, if my math is right. So why is this and how is this? Very complicated, very detailed. We can chat this up in more detail in other venues, but check out this article or look up for yourself about 25 years of increased gun violence since 20 years, says the CDC. If you don't trust the CDC, read the article, see what they say, and see what you can do to debunk it from those facts. Don't just say, them a bunch of liars, and move on from there, because you got to actually put some context into what's going on. And our final story for this morning. This is a thing, apparently. We had a story a few weeks ago about I'm sure it was in New York. I'm sure that's where it happened. Protesters supergluing themselves to bars at Starbucks in protest of the PETA's vegan milk protest. Guess who's joined the protest? Actor James Cromwell, who has himself superglued himself to a Starbucks counter as part of a PETA vegan milk protest. This one from CBS News, the specific story from that one, it is number 12 in our list of possibilities. And you want to see a picture? Do you want to see a picture? There you go. There's a picture. There you go. He is superglued along with some of his best PETA friends to a counter at the Starbucks. I'm not sure exactly how well these things are going, other than the fact that people are apparently paying attention to them. And when you bring Oliver Cromwell to it, a star of a pretty popular TV show right now, people cover it as news coverage. There you go. You got pictures. But I'm not sure exactly how it's going. I wouldn't personally, not so much in the vegan upcharge movement. Not that it's not a fair movement, but it's I'm not drinking. I like my milk from cows, not almonds. So there. But you get the picture, literally, with Oliver Cromwell joining the conversation, if you will, on the protests on the vegan milk issues, vegan milk upcharges. So how do you feel about that? How do I feel about that? I'm a bit indifferent, but as I said, this story ranked in the range that you wanted to talk about. And so we are talking about it here. If it's something that's really important, let's chat it up later on. And if there are updates, either to the vegan milk protest or Oliver Cromwell doing protests, we'll make sure we put it in there for your chance to vote it in. Now, voting things in, let's go back to that. This is our teaser story for this morning. This is a story that's going to post in about 20 minutes, I believe. And it's concerning our friend, our pal, our girl, Britney Spears. Fans voice concern after Britney Spears shares 12 new nudes in posting frenzy. So Britney, in short, is posting more of herself, literally in the fact of posting some nudes on the Instagram lately. And now all the people who are saying free Britney because Britney needed to be out of her conservatorship because she's a woman who can fend for herself, are a little worried that maybe she can't fend from herself. We're going to talk about this if you deem this necessary, if you deem this possible, and y'all loves y'all some Britney, so I'm pretty sure Britney's going to make herself in the range. We'll explain that in just a bit. But first, let's explain how you can help make me some money. How about that? You're going to help make me some money, just pennies, if you will, by going to Zenni Optical. This is the conversationproject.com/Zenni is the place. This is the conversationproject.com/Zenni is the place to get the best, also the Grest, if you want them, the best glasses you've ever had, because they're just as good as any other place you can buy glasses, except they're much less expensive. I'm sorry, I'm actually getting some comments today, so we'll go to that in a second. I'm being distracted because people are commenting. There you go. So this is the conversationproject.com. Says Zenni is your way to get these great deals from Zenni Optical. You'll get glasses, you get sunglasses, you got blue blocker glasses, you can get hard lenses, you can get trifocals and bifocals, you can get sports goggles, you can get extremely good looking glasses that are fashionable and affordable. You see me wearing my glasses. I've been buying glasses from Zenni Optical from well before I've been an affiliate with them for quite some time. And yes, I talk about how I buy many pairs of glasses because I tend to put them down and walk away and be someplace else where I need a pair of glasses. Then I just put them on. I keep my sunglasses in my car, so they're always there. I keep my sports glasses in my bag for my gym bags are always there. And I can do that because they don't cost $200 a pair of glasses. These frames start at $695, and the lenses are not Coke bottle thick. They are awesome. Check them out at thisistheconversationproject.com/Zenni for your way to get great glasses at a great price from Zenni Optical. And we get a little piece back from this as it is a affiliate link, but we love that as well. Let's go to some comments. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some comments up right here. Let's change the slide first and talk about what's going on for the feeds. Our main website is thisistheconversationproject.com, where you can find more details about the Conversation Project. Check out more of our sponsors, check out our partnership page, and things like that. Facebook.com and Twitter.com, two very popular websites, more or less, are our feeds. We host stories, we post stories every 20 minutes. In 20 minutes. Every 50 minutes, we post a new story, and you get a chance to vote it into the range of 15 for Tuesday through Friday. Of about 33 stories we'll post over about 30 hours. Go to This Is a Conversation Project on Facebook and th_conversation on Twitter. Follow us, like us, make sure you are in your responses so you see our responses. And as the stories come up, engage with them. Also, check us out on YouTube, which Mr. John Carazon is doing today. Thank you so much, John, for popping in. This is the conversationproject.com/YouTube for the direct link to our YouTube page. Make sure you like, subscribe. We need more subscribers so we can get our custom name because we're a little slacking in that. Some of the comments coming in, let's go to that comment. So an adult made her own decision. Wow, how unremarkable. Yes, that is what she did. She's making her decisions. She's doing her thing. She's living her best life. But now people are a little worried because she's doing her thing and living her best life and showing more nudes, which is her right. But is it her right? That is what we discuss. My man O talking about his love for the milk from the cows and not from nuts. Thank you so much for your support. I'm glad to have you vote in that one. And since we're doing this, Christina with a K, beautiful wife, saying good morning to all of y'all. Good morning to all of y'all as well. Thank you so much for being with us live. A few more things you might not have heard. Some birthdays for the day. Bringing up Martha Quinn for May 11th birthday. 63 years old today. That may make you feel kind of old if you're an MTV generation person. Jeffrey Donovan, the actor, is 54 years old. And Black China, listed as model and singer, 34 years old today. By the way, today is National Eat What You Want Day. So if you want to eat milk made out of nuts, then do what you like, bruh. If that's what you want to go for, that's what you're going to go for. There were a kind of a slim pickings of things to celebrate. So today you have permission to cheat on whatever meal you need to and eat what you want to today. Per me, I said so. There you go. Going out the door. One more thing you might not have known about. 43% of moviegoers say they have brought their own food to the theater. About 20% more of that are lying because I'm sure they have as well. This has been Things You Might Have Heard for Wednesday, May the 11th, 2022. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. It still is. It probably will be for a while. And we're glad that you joined us for this jaunt, this journey, this romp through a couple of stories that you might not have picked up on going through. We call ourselves your news side piece. It's more of it's a jokey thing, but we see ourselves as not a main source of news because there's no way we could be that. But we kind of fill the gaps with some of the funner things and some of the more interesting things and some of the stranger things out there that help makes you think on a bigger concept. There's a lot of issues going on, and we don't want to belittle the Ukrainian war because we want that basically front and center until it's over. We want to make sure people are still being educated about coronavirus, because that ain't going nowhere either. There's plenty of other things going on we sprinkle in, including inflation and things like that, big stories that mean things. But sometimes they get washed out because of other things going on, like the war stuff. You don't get some of the actual details of things that might be interesting and it might actually affect your life and make you think more, because you're dealing with the bigger picture stuff, which should be dealt with. In the meantime, we are posting news stories every 50 minutes, as I say, on our feeds. Follow them on Twitter and Facebook. Check out our main website, thisisconversationproject.com, for plenty of great stuff. And assuming that we can actually roll ourselves out of bed on time tomorrow, it's been a rough couple of weeks, a lot of things going on in the background. We will have another of these tomorrow. We're also trying to launch a couple of other things on the brand names of the Conversation Project, including a new other daily sort of audio podcast thing. Hopefully it'll be daily. That's a commentary thing. That's a timing thing as well. If you want more about that, just reach out to me and let me know. Otherwise, keep doing what you're doing. We love doing this right here. And if you can't, if you don't want to check out a sponsor, just check out the feeds and engage in the stories. We'll do this again tomorrow if, life lets us do this. Well, we thank you so much for joining us for today. Stay hydrated, stay on task, stay limber. We need you here. We need you here.